What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and y'all knew I was gonna be on this. I mean, I know I'm 10 days late. Well, maybe not 10 days late, but I know the album dropped um, a week ago, and well, then 3 days on top of that. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm a little late, but y'all knew I was gonna be on this album. Open Mike Eagle, Brick Body Kid, Still Daydream. Open Mike Eagle, man, that. Well, I have it right here. That Open Mike Eagle and Paul White's Hella Personal Film Festival was like my second favorite album of 2016. Not just hip hop, even though majority of my albums, or top albums of the year, tend to be hip hop albums. Um, Sometimes R&B will sneak its way in there. Uh, and yeah, like this is just one of my favorite hip hop albums, favorite albums, period, last year. I mean, this it's just amazing. You don't know how many times I've bumped this year. I mean, yeah, I still bump it to this day, and it dropped back in March of 2016, which I believe was the best month for hip hop in 2016. I mean, my goodness, this dropped. Denzel Curry dropped Flatbush Zombies, and y'all also knew I was gonna be on top of this Brick Body Kids Still Daydream because it's Mellow Music Group. Mellow Music Group. I mean, even last year, Ugly Heroes, Everything in Between was one of my four or five favorite albums of 2016. And you've got this year, Quality Chris, one of my favorite albums of the year. That being Being You is Great. I Wish I Could Be You More Often. Orlando Chill, Boy Who Spoke to the Wind. Odyssey, The Iceberg, my favorite album of the year. There's something else dropped. Mr. Lift and Acrobatic Resolution, The Perceptionist. That dropped. It could be one of my favorite albums of the year if I'm being honest. Give it some time. Jinsu Dean and Wise Intelligent, Game of Death. Not one of my favorite albums of the year, but I still like the album. I mean, Mellow Music Group, they're just those dudes, man. Check them out. I mean, uh, they're just them. Okay, that's all. That's all I can really say. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm not gonna spoil what my score is, but I'm kind of gonna spoil the review right now and say it. This album is probably gonna be one of my favorite albums of 2017. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Let's go ahead and get right into it though. 12 minutes. I forget exactly how many. 12 tracks. I forget exactly how many minutes it was, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Track number one, Legendary Iron Hood. You get a bit of a not. I don't want to say funk, but you get a bit of a almost like a blues with a little bit of funk and some soul mixed into this beat and Mike's vocal delivery. Um, it's just saying like, yo, ain't nothing gonna stop me now because I'm so damn swole. I done got so damn big that I'm running through walls now, and the old me is locked away. And talked about how his dad's a hard man, but his mom's a ghost. And he's like, right here, I kind of, especially after my first listen, getting to the second, third, and then my fourth listen. Um, well, it started with the second listen, and then it got even more. It kind of got even clearer as the album went on with more listens what the theme was, because Mike doesn't necessarily um, go in order. This track goes with the next track, or goes with, and that track goes with the next track. I'm piecing these tracks together like a track after the next for the majority of this album. Like with track number two, How Could Anybody Feel at Home? Here he's saying like, there was this place here. I think it was a bar or something, and he's saying like it was always there. It was never closed. It was publicly displayed, and he was saying like, being the elephant in the room, I knew like every answer was at this place, and the answer was always no. It was he kept his superpowers maintained, and how people's secrets inspired all of his scenes. I was like, oh man. And he even said, I write in all my fantasy and I die in all my dreams. And he's just saying like this place, we figure that it's home, but I can't really say everything because um, I'd be revealing too much. And at this place though, I'm feeling lost and like I'm out of space, space that should have never existed. But it's home. But how could anybody even feel at home? I'm like, oh my god. This song is deep as hell, and it's kind of like Mike is joking with you, but he's not. Like, you figure Mike is a silly rapper, which he can be very silly. He's an art rapper. He coined the term, and now it's a thing, art rap. Um, but he's being very serious at a lot of times, like smiling on Hello Personal Film Festival. You could laugh at that, but he was being very serious about like nobody smiles at me because I'm a black man. um, Now track number three might be my favorite track on here. Hymnal featuring Samus. I could be getting that wrong, but what I got from this, like, what I really loved about this was Mike's chorus and Samus's verse, like saying like go be something, go be what you dream of, and Mike talking about on his verse also having a strong will to write a rap song and trying to find balance between rap and real life, and yeah, it's just saying like, well, no, Samus was talking about Steve Jobs and Apple. I was like, oh, she's doing a little not wordplay. Well, she is kind of doing wordplay, and also she got kind of deep, saying like, I take a nap and fly awake, um, and then when I wake, between sobs, and then I rap and just pray that the grief stops. I was like, oh man, oh my goodness. And this is something that could put you to sleep, though. And that's not a bad thing. It's not like it's boring, but it could put you right to sleep. And just Mike's freaking chorus. I mean, singing like a church song, like an old time prayer from a dead man written on a notebook, drawn with an ink pen. Like, oh my goodness, man, I freaking love that. Now, track number four. This is what I'm talking about when I say kind of piece things together, like after a certain track. And sometimes you piece certain tracks together with another one, like this, almost towards the end. We'll get into that. Track number four, no selling. Uncle Butch pretends it don't hurt. Hurting, but no selling. And listen to this quote. For those of you who What do you say? For those of you who doubt and take it that far, I had an asthma attack during the last bar. And that came from him saying like how much I want to rap and how seriously I take it. And you doubt that I take it that far. I just had an asthma attack during the last bar. Like, oh shit. And he's just pretending that it don't hurt. Like what's he's been talking about. Like how could anybody feel at home? Um, I don't know about necessarily about Legendary Iron Hood, but they do play together. Now the next track, Happy Wasteland Day. This became like another one of my favorite tracks, but not as much as Hymnal, but it became one of my favorite tracks after listening to it with this album so much. I was like, man, uh, it's normal. It's normal now. Everybody get involved. It's a day in a wasteland. And here Mike's talking about like, yo, shout out to the hip hoppers that I think was it on this track? Oh man, it wasn't. But he was saying like, yo, if it wasn't for well, he was saying it here. If it wasn't for hip hoppers that he met in high school, I believe, that he would have lost his mind. And like, yeah, just saying, um, he'd like to get to know people from his past, but it's kind of like my brain is closed and my heart is open. And he's just like, can we go like one day without violence, one day without fear, one day of people not testing us? But hey, it's holiday. It's just another day in the wasteland. It's everyday thing. It's like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. These tracks, they all have their own um, character. They all have their own life that they live on this album, but they all seem to mesh well together. They all you can not all of them like they all coincide with each other, but every track has another track that it can relate to make this album just so damn good and so cohesive. Track number six, Daydreaming in the Projects. Um, Look, Right here is when Mike was saying, shout out to hip hoppers that met in high school. They saved his life, I think he said, Thursday afternoons. And he said this is dedicated to the ghetto children, making it trying to prosper in the ghetto all around the world. And I think there was a quote here that I wrote somewhere. Oh, saying that everything's better when you don't know nothing, which it's true, but you'd still like to know something. But I get exactly where it's coming from. Now we get into the seventh track, Brick Body Complex. This is one of my favorite tracks on here. It's right there with Hymnal. Don't call me nigga or rapper. My motherfucking name is Michael Eagle. I'm sorry. I come from a what do you say? I'm from a line of ghetto superheroes. My goodness. And Mike here is saying like, yo, I've got something to say. I got something to bring to your attention. I'm a giant. I'm different, and I don't fit the description. It's like, yo, man, Mike is. This is like the most upbeat. This is Mike Eagle's version of a banger. Okay, you want a banger from? You want an underground banger? This is it. Brick Body Complex. Mike Eagle. Open Mike Eagle. Next, TLDR Smithing. You know, I didn't have much to say about this track really. I really don't, but I will say I like it because I get like a circus vibe off of this. I literally felt like I was at the circus, and I feel like I'm at the circus every time I hear this song. Now track number nine, Breezeway Ritual. Um, Mike here is saying that he's ghetto in everything that he does, and even though it's not one of my favorite tracks, and there's not a track on here that I don't like, but even this, not being one of my favorite tracks on here, but I, of course, like I said, I still like it. Um, I have to really appreciate this because this is the most abstract beat on this entire album, and he even asks you like, "What if there's a God, but they're scared of us?" I'm like, "Ooh, ooh," and that's another thing about Open Mike Eagle. He gets dark, he gets personal, uh, and especially with his music, he can get very, of course, artsy, abstract as well. I wouldn't really say experimental. Definitely wouldn't say industrial, but alternative. Now, track number 10, Wedding Ghost. this this was almost like I almost gave this a star, like one of my favorite tracks, like a Birthday Complex or Hymnal. It didn't get that, but my goodness, uh, didn't invite me to your wedding, and didn't invite me to your funeral. I'm not gonna be on time. I was like, oh my. It's fucked up, but it's also really funny, and it's um, I kind of get a happy vibe, even though there's not really anything happy to be taken away right here. But yeah, I really like this track. Track number 11, 95 Radios. This was a single, and I want to say Hymnal was a single as well. Um, right, I want to say Hymnal was a single. 95 Radios was a single. Brick Body Complex, I want to say that was a single as well. Um, yeah, but anyway, 95 Radios featuring Haslow. Just this is like this is one of the best hip hop albums. I mean, best hip hop songs in a while. Like just loving music really, but hip hop so much that you're just looking for a radio. You're all around town, all around your grandma's house in her basement, trying to find a radio just for the love of music. It's like that is just so. That's just so freaking great. I mean, man. And track number 12, My Auntie's Building. Man, this was dark. And not even the beat. Like, just, and it was short too. Like, to end this album like this, I was like, oh man, this is something. Like, they blew up my auntie's building. They blew up the village that I was in. But you know what? I'll fight anybody who tries to take it away. I'll fight the villain. And then talking about how everybody was there. Like, families were there, church folk, drug dealers. Everybody was there. And I have to say this is a very good track because of a subject, like a theme like that. Like that's the concept that you're gonna end the album on. I really have to give a check to that. Um, and I have to say, like these um these tracks they coincide with each other. Not all of them together, but each track has something as another track on here that it can relate to. It's like my goodness, and the whole theme, like they all relate in the sense of the theme, pretty much. Like Brick Body Kid Still Daydream. Like I know this goes back to Mike's roots in Chicago, growing up in um, a projects in Chicago, and yeah, it's just like, damn, like he felt so strong enough about what happened to his home that he'd make a concept album about it. And I get it. Tracks like Legendary Iron Hood, How Could Anybody Feel at Home? No Selling, like, especially No Selling, like just pretending that all this doesn't hurt, but it does. Happy Wasteland Day, um, like tracks like that. Legendary Iron Hood, How Could Anybody Feel at Home? No Selling, Happy Wasteland Day, Daydream in the Projects, Big Body Complex, shoot, 95 Radios, My Auntie's Building. They all coincide with each other. Then you have tracks like shoot, Wedding Ghosts coinciding with No Selling as well. Actually, uh, it's just like, damn. Because when he said, people, when Mike talked about people that he uh, knows and knows from the past, they like to get to know better. Um, but it's kind of like his brain is closed, but his heart's open. Like it kind of coincides with the whole wedding ghost thing. Like, don't invite me to your wedding. You didn't invite me to your funeral, so I'm not gonna be on time if I even show up. It's like, man, this was a fantastic album. I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give it a check. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10, and I think this will end up being one of my favorite projects of 2017. With as time goes on, and I keep listening to it because I love this album. And if you've heard this album, go ahead and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. And if you haven't heard this album, you're missing out because it's Open Mike Eagle, it's Mellow Music Group. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, y'all know what to do. If you like this review, hit the like button, share the review, subscribe if you're new, check the description, get my Twitter, Facebook, all my social medias, and my PSN, everything, even my um, PayPal, Venmo, or Venmo, Bandcamp, my Square, Cash App, and that's if you want to support my movements as far as YouTube, music, entertainment, etc. Just check those right there. And if you have any inquiries that you might have, like if you need your music chopped and screwed, if you need it reviewed, if you need beats made, you want to be featured on one of my upcoming DJ mixtapes, or you just have any inquiries that you just might have, my email is dynamicjab@gmail.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Oh, Hoping Mike Eagle, if you are watching this somehow, keep doing what you do, man. Um, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I will be buying this album too. And keep doing you, Mellow Music Group. Just keep it up. Love y'all. And see y'all next time.